Capricorn, sometimes God speaks the loudest through silence. You wake up one morning and notice that someone who once filled your days with words, presence, and laughter has grown quiet. Their footsteps no longer walk in rhythm with yours. Their voice, once familiar, begins to echo like a memory. This is not abandonment. This is not betrayal. This is heaven rearranging the path beneath your feet. God is carefully lifting someone out of your life, not because you did something wrong, but because their chapter has ended in your story, and the next chapter cannot begin until they are gone. It feels like a shattering silence, but in that silence, something greater is being built. A hidden protection, a divine alignment, a doorway opening that you cannot yet see. Before I go further, type these words in the comments as your declaration. I trust God. Because when you say it, you are not just writing words, you are speaking faith into the very distance God is creating. Stay with me, Capricorn. By the end of this message, you will understand why heaven is moving someone away from you, and why their absence will become the soil where your blessings take root. When familiar becomes dangerous. Capricorn, not every face around you is a safe face. Not every voice that speaks kindly to you carries kindness in the heart. Some people stand beside you, yet their spirit quietly resents your progress. They clap for you in public, but behind closed doors, they whisper prayers that your light will dim. And here's the truth. Because your nature is loyal, because you value stability and consistency, you often hold on to people long after God has shown you their shadow. You want to believe in the goodness you once saw. You want to believe that their presence still means safety. But heaven sees what your heart cannot. There are people who smile at you, but the smile hides envy. They cheer for you, but inside they wish they were in your place. And slowly their energy begins to seep into your spirit. It comes not in a loud attack, but in subtle ways. It's in the advice they give you that makes you second-guess your gifts. It's in their silence when you share your dreams. A silence that feels heavier than words. It's in the way they never stand up for you when others question your worth. Their absence of true support begins to convince you that maybe you are walking alone. And this is where God steps in. Because you don't always see the danger in the familiar, He does. Because you don't always feel the poison when it drips slowly, He does. He watches as their influence tries to chip away at the courage He placed inside you. And when He sees that the danger is becoming too close, too familiar, too woven into your daily life, He acts. At first, you may notice little things. The conversations feel colder. The phone doesn't ring as often. The excitement they once showed for your victories turns into indifference. Small disagreements appear where once there was peace. You may even begin to wonder if it's your fault, if somehow you caused the distance. But listen closely, Capricorn. This is not rejection. This is divine redirection. God is placing a shield around you. Heaven is building walls where once you left the gate wide open. What feels like loss is actually love. What feels like confusion is actually clarity being born. Imagine a house where one window has cracked. At first it looks harmless, just a line across the glass. But over time the crack grows, and the whole pane becomes fragile. Would you wait until it shatters in your hands, or would you replace it before it breaks completely? That's what God is doing. He is replacing what is cracked before it shatters you. So when someone suddenly becomes distant, when the connection begins to weaken without explanation, pause and remember, heaven is protecting you. The same way a shepherd pulls his sheep away from poisonous grass, God is pulling you away from those who secretly wish to see you stumble. It may not feel fair, it may not feel comfortable, but it is necessary, because familiarity can be the most dangerous disguise. And sometimes, the ones you thought would carry your dreams with you were only meant to walk part of the way. This distance is not cruelty, Capricorn. It is love in its highest form. It is heaven's way of keeping your spirit safe, your path clear, and your destiny untouchable. The quiet before breakthrough. Capricorn, there are seasons when heaven grows very quiet, and you begin to notice people slowly stepping back. It feels as though the room that was once filled with voices is now emptying. The ones you thought would rejoice with you in every victory begin to lose interest. Some stop showing up. Some no longer share your excitement. At first, the silence feels unsettling, but in truth, it is a holy silence. You are standing on the edge of breakthroughs that not everyone can enter. Just as a tree cannot bloom with every branch intact, not every person can remain connected to you when your season of fruit arrives. Some branches must fall away for the rest of the tree to carry life. And in the same way, some relationships must be removed before your blessing can fully open. God knows the weight of each heart around you. He knows who celebrates you sincerely and who only watches with jealousy hidden in their smile. He knows who will cheer when you rise and who will try to dim your light the moment it shines too brightly. That is why he quietly begins to separate, not in anger, not in vengeance, but in wisdom. If these people remain, they will take what does not belong to them. They will drain your joy and try to claim your blessing as if it were their own. And so God begins to create distance. No loud ending, no harsh confrontation, just silence, just space, just a gentle pulling apart that you cannot always explain. This quiet is preparation. It is heaven rearranging the seats at your table before the feast is served. Because not everyone who eats with you deserves to taste the harvest you have been waiting for. Some would take without gratitude. Some would leave you empty when it is over. And God loves you too much to allow that. So if you feel people drifting, do not panic. If you notice relationships fading before the promise arrives, do not fight to hold them. The space they leave behind is not meant to destroy you. It is meant to make room for the right people, the ones who will honor your blessing and protect your joy. This is the quiet before breakthrough, Capricorn. The silence before the curtain rises. The clearing before the rain of blessings. God is not taking away to punish you. He is taking away to prepare you. Because what is coming is too precious to be shared with the wrong company. The weight you didn't know you carried. Capricorn, have you ever felt a strange lightness in your soul after someone left your life? At first, the silence they left behind felt heavy, like an empty room echoing with memories. But as time moved forward, you began to breathe differently. You noticed your heart felt less restless, your mind felt clearer, your steps felt freer. This is not a coincidence. This is what happens when God removes a hidden weight you did not know you were carrying. Some people walk beside you, but carry an energy that silently presses down on your spirit. They may not attack you directly, but their presence drains you in ways you never recognized. Their doubts, their constant negativity, or even their lack of genuine support becomes a silent burden you grow accustomed to. For so long, you may have thought that heaviness was just a part of life, like carrying a stone in your pocket day after day. You became so used to the weight that you began to believe it was normal. But God knew it was holding you back, and so in His mercy, He took it away. When that stone was finally lifted, when that person drifted from your life, suddenly you could stand taller. You could walk further. You could finally feel what it meant to live without invisible chains. Their absence revealed a freedom you didn't even know you were missing. It hurts at first because human hearts cling to what is familiar. You might even mourn the loss, wondering why someone who was so close could suddenly be gone. But what feels like a wound is truly a healing. What feels like subtraction is God giving you back your strength. Capricorn, their departure is not just an ending. It is the beginning of a lighter journey. It is a divine invitation to move forward without the constant pull of unseen weight. Sometimes you cannot see how strong you are until what was holding you down is no longer there. Yes, the absence hurts, but the healing it brings is greater. The door they walked out through is the same doorway through which your new strength enters. And every step you now take is proof that God's distance was not punishment. It was preparation for the freedom He always intended for you. The test of trust. Capricorn, when God begins to distance someone from your life, it is not only protection, it is also a test that touches the deepest parts of your faith. Because in that quiet space where someone's absence feels loud, God is asking you one question. Do you trust me more than you trust your need for companionship? It is easy to trust God when your arms are full, when your circle is alive with laughter, when love and friendship surround you. But trust becomes real when all of that begins to fade. When the familiar presence you depended on is no longer there, and you are left to choose. Do you run back to what God has already removed, or do you surrender to the divine unknown that lies ahead? This is where many hearts stumble. They cling to what is gone because the silence feels too heavy. They chase after people who no longer belong because the emptiness feels too sharp. But Capricorn, listen closely. The removal itself is the blessing. The silence is the miracle. The very thing you see as a loss is actually the hand of God carving a new path for you. The test was never about the person who left. The test is about you, your faith, your obedience, your willingness to believe that God's vision is greater than your own understanding. Can you keep walking when it feels like you're walking alone? Can you hold on to His word when the comfort of human company has been stripped away? Can you look at the emptiness in your hands and still declare, God, I trust you? This is what heaven is watching for. Not your tears, not your complaints, not your confusion, but your courage. The courage to move forward even when nothing around you makes sense. The courage to believe that divine distance is not abandonment, but alignment. Capricorn, this test is not designed to break you. It is designed to reveal you. To show you the strength that was already inside you. To show you that your faith is more powerful than your fears. And once you pass this test, once you stop running back to what God has ended, you will see doors open that were always meant for you. Doors you could not enter while holding on to the past. The hidden protection. Capricorn, there are things you do not see, but God sees them all. He sees the conversations that happen when you are not in the room. He hears the words spoken in secret, words that carry envy, resentment, and sometimes even curses against your name. He knows the schemes quietly planned in the shadows, where smiling faces turn into hidden enemies. People can laugh with you on the surface, yet hide jealousy behind their laughter. They can sit at your table, eat your food, and still quietly wish that your blessings would crumble. But you, Capricorn, are a child of destiny, and destiny is not fragile. It cannot be stolen, and it cannot be tampered with by human hands. This is why God distances you from those who secretly wish to sabotage you. Their hearts may be masked with politeness, but their intentions would have wounded your path if God had not stepped in first. He removes them not to punish you, but to protect you. He places space between you and them before their plans can take shape. Imagine being saved from a storm before the first cloud even appears. That is exactly what heaven does. God sees the lightning before it strikes. He hears the thunder before you do. He knows when a person's spirit is not aligned with your journey, and He begins to pull them away, quietly, gently, but firmly. And though you may feel abandoned in the moment, the truth is the opposite. You are too loved to be left unprotected. You are too chosen to be left exposed. When God removes someone, it is because He has already looked ahead and seen what their presence would have cost you. Capricorn, this hidden protection is one of the greatest gifts you will ever receive. Because you will never know the battles that were avoided, the traps you never stepped into, the storms you never had to endure. All you will feel is the sudden distance, but what you cannot see is the danger that distance saved you from. So do not mistake separation for rejection. It is love disguised as loss. It is God's hand shielding you from an enemy you didn't even know was near. And though you may not understand it now, one day you will look back and realize that the distance was not destruction. It was salvation. The doorway to new relationships. Capricorn, every time God distances you from someone, He is not leaving you empty. He is making room for someone new. The absence you feel is not an ending, it is the beginning of something greater. It may be a friend who will stand closer than family, Someone who understands your soul without judgment and carries your burdens with love. It may be a mentor, someone who sees your worth clearly, even when you doubt yourself, and helps you rise into the person you were always meant to be. Or it may be a partner, one who values your heart, protects your spirit, and walks with you in truth and honor. God never subtracts without the intention to multiply. When He removes, it is only to replace with better. When He creates emptiness, it is only so He can fill it with abundance. The space you feel right now is not a grave. It is a womb. Something is forming. Someone is approaching. The pain of distance is real, but so is the promise of arrival. The new relationships God is sending are not temporary fillers, but divine connections. They will water your dreams instead of draining them. They will lift you higher instead of weighing you down. They will love you without hidden envy, without secret competition, without silent betrayal. Capricorn, the people coming into your life are answers to prayers you may not even remember praying. You asked for guidance, and God is sending those who can guide you. You asked for loyalty, and He is sending those who will never betray you. You asked for love, and He is sending those who will love you with truth, not with conditions. So when you feel the ache of loss, remember, it is not emptiness, it is preparation. God is not taking away. He is opening the door to new relationships that are aligned with your destiny. Walking forward without regret. And now, Capricorn, the choice rests with you. God has already done His part. He has moved someone out of your path for reasons you may not yet see. Your role now is to release with peace. Do not chase what heaven has removed, for running after it is like trying to hold on to smoke. It slips through your fingers, leaving only emptiness behind. Do not allow bitterness to settle in your heart. Do not replay the ending in your mind with anger or regret. Their chapter in your story is finished, and trying to write them back into it will only delay the new season waiting for you. You cannot walk into tomorrow if you're still holding yesterday by the hand. Capricorn, walk forward with no regret. Know this with all certainty: heaven itself has signed this separation. And if God placed His seal on it, then it was necessary. It was not a mistake, not an accident, and not a punishment. It was protection. It was preparation. So take a deep breath and step into what is next. Do not look back in sorrow. Look ahead with trust. Because if God closed this door, it means another one, far greater, is about to open. Capricorn, this is your moment of trust. This is the place where faith must become stronger than your feelings. God is not distancing you from someone to leave you shattered. He is leaving you whole. He is not taking from you to punish you. He is protecting you from what you could not see. He is not closing a door to abandon you. He is opening space for something extraordinary to step in. The distance you feel right now is not a void, it is a doorway. It is heaven whispering that your story is far from over. And though your heart may ache, and though your mind may not understand, trust this truth: God does not remove without reason. Every separation in His hands is the beginning of a greater connection, a greater blessing, a greater chapter written just for you. So type it one last time in the comments: Capricorn, I trust God. Let these words be more than letters. Let them be your seal of faith, your declaration that you choose trust over fear, surrender over doubt. And before you leave, hold this close to your spirit. Every ending in God's hands is only the beginning of something far more powerful. Nothing He allows to leave your life is greater than what He is about to bring in. Stay close. Subscribe and remain in this space of truth, light, and destiny, because here we walk together through the mysteries of God's timing and the wonders of His plan. Capricorn, your separation is not a loss. It is the birth of your incredible reason.